All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. I need some background for everyone to stare at. Not just look at my nice blue background. Thank you guys all so much for stopping by. As always, my name is Eli. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we do Q&As, usually at 12:30, but I was a little late, so I apologize for that, but glad to still have you guys here. Hopefully you all are having a wonderful day, but before we jump into it, as always, we do weekly giveaways. All you have to do to enter is leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe. But let's give a couple of shout outs to those who are here talking in the chat. So far, we've got Daddy Zard, Kevin, Senpai, TT, Tori, Department Store, Eric, DJ, Package Total, Pika Heisen, Ripper, Tanner, and Zach. Thank you all so much for being here today. Hopefully we are going to have ourselves a good stream, but hopefully you guys are also having a happy Thursday. We're getting close, ladies and gentlemen. A week from tomorrow, it is official. Paradox Rift is going to happen, so hopefully you guys are all getting ready for that. But let's see what everyone is kind of talking about so far today. Made it on time. Well, you made it on time. I did not. So you made it on time to me being not on time, if that says something. So, oh man. Do you think you have a connection between the main shooter and Los Pollos Hermanos will affect the prices of the 151 UPC? Well, all I can kind of tell you to that is you can never rule anything out. So, and obviously Los Pollos Hermanos is a legit place, so I don't see the problem here. Like, what's there to talk about, you know? No, I'm just kidding. All right, I have a question. You can tell me about the PC ETBs. When they usually come back in stock, how long do they usually last staying in stock, and do they usually come back in stock on release? So it's interesting. That is something that's changed quite drastically. You know, it just depends on the product. There's no really rhyme or reason or consistency to it. I would say that if you remember the specialty ETBs, I think other than Pokemon Go, most of the time they usually sell out pretty fast, and from what we've seen historically so far, don't go back in stock. Maybe a quick flash sale here or there, but usually it's very rare. There has been some instances of regular PC ETBs from non-specialty sets that will come in stock and then go out of stock and then come back in stock shortly after release. And instances where it has gone back in stock. It's all over the place. So, I mean, I remember Fusion Strike ETBs were out of stock for like 3-4 months and then all of a sudden got back in stock. And I'm pretty certain they're still in stock too and haven't gone out of stock since. So, it's really, really random to say the least. Just make your full face a beautiful screen. What? You guys don't want to see that. Look at that. What is there to see? There's just my face. There's just hideousness and neck fat. You don't want to look at the neck fat. Here, I'm going to make myself extra small now just for you because you said that. Thoughts on Paradox Rift? Would you slide it between Paldea and SV base? So my personal opinion on Paradox, just from a general visual perspective on the cards, so far is I think it is the best booster box set of the 4 that we have. I think worst is going to by far be Obsidian, then SV base, then Paldea, and then the best being Paradox. So I think that Obsidian's a god-awful set. It's ranked last for that reason. Let's see as well if they've started to finally put images to cards. I highly doubt it since we're still a week before, but just in case, we're trying to still follow some of the price action of what's been going on. Mela is kind of as we anticipated, still looking good on pre-sale pricing. This is obviously not indicative of the future by any means, but it's still, or not 100% confirmed of the future. It can be indicative of the future, but obviously we haven't had sales in 2 days, so who knows what's going to happen with that. I mean, prices for all of these items could go crazy. What am I eyeing for Black Friday? That's a good question. You might not like my answer. If I'm being honest, what I'm eyeing from Black Friday is bulk product, whether it be from Pokemon or Magic, that I can break down and sell off the bulk singles. That's what I'm really eyeing. I mean, because here's the deal, guys. I'm sitting on so much sealed product right now. I mean, you guys might not think it's a lot, but I'm sitting at I did an inventory about a week ago. I'm sitting on about $50,000 worth of sealed product. And right now for myself, it's going to come a point where I'm just not going to have a ton of room to store more. And so what I can do is I can at least flip singles and, bulk more particularly for both Pokemon and Magic. And so for myself, I'm really eyeing to see what kind of flash sales we could potentially see with those items. Will there also be a CZ stock of mini tins? I'm looking into buying some mini tin displays. So one of my distributors has had them now for a little bit of time on pre-order. So there will be some more coming. Paradox Rift is indeed the newest set. Yes, Aces. Will there also be a restock? I already answered that question. Do you think maybe 151 will be like Evolving Skies? It sells out everywhere, has insanely cool pulls, and even if they print it into the ground, it will be desirable anyways. Yes and no. I would say that I would agree with you to a certain extent in terms of, yes, of course, I think that Crown Zenith is very comparable in terms of demand as a set. The only thing that makes it completely different in terms of where you're going to have not the same consistency in terms of price action and volatility, where comparing it to Evolving is when Evolving has a booster box reprint, it's only online retailers and storefronts that are going to get access to the product, whereas big box retailers will not. Versus with Crown Zenith, it's a completely different situation because Crown Zenith is going to be a ETB specific set that is going to be available in big box retailers, making it so that the supply will be a lot more readily available. So, and that's kind of my whole stance on ETBs to begin with. Although I am a fan of ETBs, and I think that historically percentages have shown they tend to perform really good long term. Booster boxes are still the desired investment because even after the multiple reprints that they get, the general availability of them is less thereof after the reprints, whereas ETBs could still considerably be in stock at big box retailers and then, other such things. How many of my Pikachu hats should I hold or sell, man? I mean, like I said on last stream, I think there's nothing wrong with holding for now. We don't anticipate a reprint to happen for those anytime soon. So if there is one, obviously you're going to want to flash sell. But if not, just hold strong. Late to the party, but on Sam's Club's website, the Rapid Strike Single Strike will be on sale on Black Friday. No price listed yet, but they're available for sale at $35. Can you send me the Rapid Strike Single Stripe Sam's Club? Let's take a look and see what that is. The Rapid Stripe Single Strike. Are you talking about... what in particular are you referencing? Are you talking about the ETB bundle? The ETB with the promos? Is that what you mean? You selling your product on Black Friday? No, I am not. I am not going to be selling anything on Black Friday other than obviously the promotion that we'll be doing for adding more spots to the program. That is the only thing that we will be doing. Which that obviously will come out on November 1st, and we'll see how quickly that lasts because I anticipate to sell out fast. What's up, Jason X? Good to see you. How am I doing? I'm good, but I'm tired, man. I think that Crown Zenith is great for Black Friday because reprints and plus the discounts. Well, makes sense to me. How much to pay for your time? $1 million an hour, good sir. Take it or leave it. Where does the term printed into the ground come from? How does it even make sense? Please explain. Wouldn't you logically print it into the sky? So as you print more, stacks are higher and higher. Explain. I mean, I don't know where the exact term comes from, but I'm presuming that it's kind of like where prices are dumping, right, on a specific item. Then, you know, it's free falling. It's like the prices are falling through the floor, right? It's going into the ground. And so I assume when they say printing into the ground, they're specifying that it's being printed so much that the prices are going into the ground. Wait, you think Evo will get a reprint? If it does, what do you think the prices will be? So here's my thing about the Evolving Skies reprint. I've already said Oakwood Apartment Store. $1 million was said to me. Thank you for the $2 donation. I appreciate it. I would say that in terms of the Evolving Skies reprint, I've said it before. I will say it again because, of course, everyone's always going to take me out of context. I think that the chances are very low that we're going to get a reprint for Evolving Skies. I think on the high end, it's going to be 20 to 30%. That's what my chances are. But that still means there's a chance, and I'm not ruling it out. And I've obviously talking about the situations in which I think are most plausible as to why they would rationally reprint the set. So that is all I am saying. People, of course, are like, Eli, where's that Evolving Skies reprint that you said was happening? I've never once said there's ever going to be an Evolving Skies reprint within the past year. The last time that I called for an Evolving Skies reprint was back in May of 2021. And I made that call saying that it's been so long and I would be stunned if they didn't do it. And guess what? August reprint happened for Evolving Skies and they announced it in June. So I was literally just right there making that prediction. So other than that, I have yet to call for an Evolving Skies reprint since then. ETBs. Yeah. So ETBs will be on discount. I mean, it's battle styles, but sure. Exciting. It depends on the price, how good it is. Sorry if this has been asked before. Will there be a chance Pokemon Center will have more of their version of ETBs for sale? For example, the PC Crown ETBs. Unlikely. It's possible, but very unlikely. Beard or clean shaven for your wedding? I was clean. Well, so I had a beard for my wedding, but it was like clean. So I wasn't like fully shaven. I just cleaned up. What are your thoughts? All right, I'm not going to answer that question. That is it's too much. That is too much. This is way off topic. Max, $200. All right, fine. Send me $200. No, I'm kidding. Please don't do that. Just tuning in, real informative channel. I appreciate that. Thank you. I was wondering, what's the best value or money TCG product set that's fun to open? Paldea. Oh, yeah, for sure, Paldea still. I mean, Paldea is one of those sets that you can still get for relatively cheap. It wouldn't be surprising if you can find booster boxes on some sites for as cheap as 90 to like, low 90s. And the thing about Paldea that's really nice is a lot of the cards, although the values have gone down, they've held up pretty well in terms of their overall value. I mean, if we're talking about the Magikarp, right, you're saying that the lowest listed price for a non-picture item, right, it's like a approved seller, verified seller item, it's going to be around, you take these out of the consideration, it's going to be around $60, right? And then you say to yourself, all right, well, what's the all-time high on an item like this? Obviously, on the pre-release, it was 78. But since then, I mean, it's just been slowly going up. Right? So the value of the Magikarp has been holding really, really strong. Then you take some of the other items. Iono, yes, this one has obviously gone down in value since the pre-release. But if we're wanting to talk about the actual value of the card up until the release date itself, because for those of you that want to know, the release date was June 9th. It has dropped about, the average past the release. It's dropped a decent amount. I mean, obviously it was 130 for about a week, right? And then it started to drop into like 115. So it's dropped about $45, but it's still a card that obviously is sitting around the $90 price point. So that's still one that is potential for being a hitter. Chin Pao, Iono are still cards you can hit. Same with the T-Tar, the Raichu. But most importantly that I've, really talked about as well is when it comes to the uncommon cards, hitting the Iono or the Jet Energy could be big, man, because you hit the Iono, $3.25. That just paid for a pack and then some, right? And that's if you're hitting the normal. If you're hitting the reverse holo, then you're going to be getting an additional dollar where it's closer to $4.19. And now if you're a direct seller, you can get away with some stuff that you shouldn't be able to get away with, but that's just the way it is. So, I mean, you can get value off of hitting some of these uncommons and commons. So when you ask the question, what's, one that's arguably fun to open and it's the most affordable, it's by far Paldea right now. That could change into Paradox depending upon how valuable the competitive cards are going to be when they first come out. But what I like to really look for in a set is what is the floor and what is the top, right? Floor, having a good floor and a good ceiling are extremely important, because if you have these common and uncommon cards that are worth value, that even if you don't hit like a crazy big card, you could still have a really good like potential floor where you're not losing a ton. That's really good to know, because you're like, it sucks. I lost money. I didn't get a big hitter, but at least I pull all these common uncommons and other EX cards that are going to save me from having a massive loss, right? Some other cards as well. I mean, it's not like these are crazy expensive cards. But when you're considering the fact of the matter, you have some competitively viable EX cards, such as the Chin Pao, where you can pull an EX version, get it for $10, or just a regular EX version. EX full versus a regular EX version. You can get $7, which is roughly the market price for it. So, I mean, you can get regular EXs and you can get value out of it. So there's a lot to love in that regard. And that's, that's helping you even out your potential losses. And then you talk about the high-end possibilities where you could potentially get an $80, $90 card, and $70 card, couple of, $35, $40 cards and $30 cards. So it's like, there's a lot to love. I hope it reprints. I mean, wouldn't we all love it? Vote Pokemon USA. All right, let's move on. Do you enjoy dumplings? What is your favorite kind? Have you ever tried Asian soup dumplings, Bomb? I love dumplings. I love just pot stickers, wontons, dumplings of any kind of variety. I'm a big fan for sure. I haven't tried real traditional style dumplings, I would say. I mean, I've had dumplings before, but not in the same regard as like I go out to a really nice Chinese restaurant that has the soup dumplings. I've had soup dumplings before, but not like restaurant quality ones. Because I've had the ones at Trader Joe's. Does that count, right? And then I've had other non-soup dumplings. There's a place called Dump City Dumplings over in my old hometown. So I'm like, I've had them before, but they're not like traditional dumplings. But I do love them. At Kmart in Australia, we had Chinese Aeon and Zamazenta boxes for 39 AUD. That's crazy cheap. Holy crap, dude. Shout out to that. What's up, Fernando? Good to see you, brother. Hopefully all is well. Dude, 100%. I agree. We are in the bleh and we will be in the bleh. No, I mean, I would argue that there's a lot of opportunity for investments right now, and more particularly, there's going to be even more once we hit Black Friday. Have I reached out to Jobless Alex about a collab? I have reached out to Jobless Alex about a collab, and he said anytime. He's got a lot of free time right now since he's homeless. No, I'm just kidding. But he does say that whenever I want to do a collab with him, he'd be more than happy to hop on. What is going on? Why is this keep automatically going higher? I don't have a father, so you can just adopt me too if that's cool with you. Well, what's your opinion on slave labor, Tanner? No, I'm just kidding. I know, right? What are my recommendations on product that are must-have right now? So, Bish, I would say if you look at my recent video that I posted where I talked about the top 5 Pokemon that you want to be able to pick up leading into Black Friday, those are the kind of the 5 that I like the most. So I recommend checking out that video. I'll be a millionaire by the time I'm 18 if you give me $100,000. Oh, Bitcoin. I see. That's how you're going to be a millionaire. What's up, Mark? Good to see you, brother. Thanks for stopping by. Quick question. If you get to it in time, Pokemon Center ETB versus booster boxes or both as far as an investment. So I want to answer this very carefully. It's such a broad comparison, right? Because depending upon which ones you're comparing to, obviously, some can perform better than others. And then also as well to that, ETBs, Pokemon Center exclusive, are a new concept. This is something that technically starting in Chilling Reign, right? And so it's one of those things where I think you have to consider the fact that we don't have a ton of history on what's going to be a better performer, right? And the ones that we have seen that have performed well are the ones that are obviously not in stock on the Pokemon Center website. The Crown Zenith one, the Celebrations one, the Evolving Skies one, the Chilling Reign one. But ultimately, in terms of general ratios, if we're talking about Evolving Skies right now, so far, what has performed better? By far the booster boxes, right? In terms of Chilling Reign boosters versus ETBs, what has performed better? By far, it has to be the booster boxes and not the ETBs. I know some people might say that's cheating because, of course, it didn't come with the extra 2 packs because there was a printing error, but I still would count it. Obviously, Fusion Strike, last time I checked, still in stock on it. Brilliant Star should be still in stock on it. Celebrations, you don't have really anything to compare it to in terms of the overall product because unless you're comparing it to the standard ETB, but we're comparing it to booster boxes. So far, booster boxes in theory have been performing better, but I think it's kind of unfair to say that as a general blanket statement that in the long term they're going to perform better just because we have such little history to really go off of. $60 watching, but only 8 likes. Hit that like button. I agree, Mikey. I appreciate it. Make sure, ladies and gentlemen, to hit the like. It definitely supports the channel, and I appreciate all the love and support. Would you say the wholesale promo is good for international buyers? I'm in Australia, so I know shipping costs can be deadly. We've got multiple international buyers in the program. The main thing I would say that's really, really important is finding a middleman service that specifically works best with where you live. Because we've got multiple different people that have middleman providers that they use as a way for them to get cheaper shipping. So it can totally, totally work. You just have to find it for the country that you live in. What's up with the Squirtle Pokemon Center exclusive that came out recently? $100 seems high, but it was more exclusive than I thought. Interesting. I haven't been following them a ton in terms of their value, so I'll have to look into that more before I really answer. Paradox Rift, is it worth it for the $50 Pokemon Center exclusive ETB or just buying the $37 ones? What Paradox is going for $37? The ETB shouldn't be that expensive. I mean, there's been so much available Paradox product. I would be stunned if it was going for that much, unless you're buying it off of TCG Player. I mean, TCG Player, you're going to be paying a premium, obviously, for a lot of product most of the time. I would check out other, verified sellers, websites. But to answer the question, I'd much rather be purchasing the standard than the specialty, probably, if I were to guess. I don't know. That's a tough one. Hey Pokemon, love your channel. My first live viewers. Hey, thanks for stopping by, AK Cam. FYI, I just scooped up 6 Lost Origin boosters. 605 shipped. I feel great about this pickup. Dude, I don't know where you got those from, but shout out to you. That is incredible. Where'd you pick those up from? I had a quick meeting. Did Eli tell me what to do with the 100,000? I did. Yes, I said give it to me, obviously. Do you think SS Altarts will see a spike like SM Altarts in the future? Oh, 100%. In terms of the horizon, I obviously don't have a crystal ball, but I think it's going to take some time, especially with this economy. I think that you'll still have your, ups and downs in the general market. Sometimes things will perform better than others, but in overall, will these, alternate arts just have a ton of huge pop-off compared to, I would say wait until most of the Sword and Shield era has started to go out of print and we're past the Scarlet and Violet era. I think once we move into the next generation after Scarlet and Violet, then we can start having a conversation about potentially, or at least the back end of Scarlet and Violet. At least that's what the trend that happened with Sun and Moon, so it could follow the similar pattern. Hidden Fate's a good investment or move to CZ ETBs. I think that Hidden Fates is a good investment, but also I think that when the CZ ETB reprints hit and prices crash, that'll also be a really good investment. So I would not want to miss out on the Crown Zenith reprints with the Black Friday combo. Yay, average player. What's up, my guy? Finally got a home for yourself? Which poor soul is letting you live out of their dog home? No, I'm just kidding. Just lives out of a kennel. Good to see you, brother. Hopefully all is well, and hopefully you're living in a place that has insulation. I was like, what should I call it? You're getting burned out of Pokemon? Come on, Leo. Don't get burned out now. Things are just about to heat up, obviously. Here's the deal with Pokemon, man. I know everyone's burned out because it's a new generation, and that's usually the time people get burned out, but you always got to wait till the second half, right? I got pretty burned out of Pokemon during the Black and White era, but, man, that Plasma era, pretty good. Will CZ ETBs come in under new MSRP? Oh yeah, they're going to crash like crazy. CZ ETB sold yesterday at 40 per already, so yes. What's the distro rate for CZ ETBs? I'm seeing stores selling them for cases. So depending upon the distributor, you can usually pick them up for anywhere between $300 to $350 for a case. So that is the standard wholesale rate. See if there's anything crazy that's happened on the main. Trending. Paradox is doing Paradox's thing. I mean, kind of same old, nothing crazy. Just kind of first glance. Lost Origin price has been going down? Wow. Lost Origin's been slightly going down recently. Ooh. What's that all about? I mean, you've got just a couple of supply before it goes up. Still interesting to see. Cop now or wait for Black Friday? Wait for Black Friday. Do not touch CZ ETBs till Black Friday. How's the wifey? A serious question I do have is about the Japanese Classic Collection. What do you think about it? Like shipping for a single box is like $120 each, making the product very expensive. Do you think the higher barrier for entry can make it shoot up? If there's anything that I can tell you about Japanese product in general, is that never underestimate the demand. I mean, the value of Japanese product in general, if you've just been following it, regardless of the price barrier, has been something that has still not stopped, right? And obviously it's going to be expensive to be able to pick it up because it's a Japanese product. So I don't think that's going to really deter it from the value. How's the wifey? She is doing good. She's slaving away right now. Running the Roka, sorting some bulk. All right. I wonder if distribution released a bunch of Lost Origin lately. I noticed LO going down slightly. I don't think so, because at least on the distributors that we have, I haven't seen any supply of them really pop up. I feel like if you see cases for 400, grab it. I don't believe it'll go lower than that, even on Black Friday. I think that the best case scenario we could potentially see, right, is Crown Zenith ETBs. This is a hot possibility of happening. No guarantees. But if we had a CZ ETB, which is $50, right? Buy one, get one free. That is my only real possibility, which of course, knowing GameStop, I doubt that's going to happen. They'll probably be like, buy two, get the third free. Which if they do something like that as a Black Friday special, right? So we say you buy two, get the third one free, you're paying $33 per. I think this is a possibility. I think it's a high possibility that could happen, right? What would it be if it was buy three, get the fourth one free? $37.50? I mean, dude, I think that's possible. I think that they could potentially do that at GameStop. GameStop's the place that loves to sell at a massive flash sale price because no one buys at their ridiculous MSRP pricing. So I don't know, man. I think it could happen. I could be wrong, though. Business advice. Let's hear it. Started listing on my website, Funkos and other Etsy stuff. Going to also add my sweatshirts when I get my new embroidery machine. Do you think selling sealed Pokemon at cost would be a good advertising driver? I want to sell the sweatshirt mostly, which is being much better margins. What do you think? No, I don't think that's a good idea. At the end of the day, people are going to come to your website for the product that they want. And although you might say that it could potentially cross people going over, it's very rarely that you're going to see something like that happen. So you could drive traffic or you could drive eyes, but ultimately at the end of the day, if I'm going into a Walmart, right, there's usually intent behind what I'm going to get when I go to Walmart, right? If I am saying to myself, oh, I want to go check and see if there's Pokemon, or oh, I want to check the Lego section. It's not like I'm going in the Bash Pro Shop fishing section because I happened to walk through it and then realize I wanted a specific fishing rod. Like, it has to be something with intention behind it. And it's entirely possible, right? There could be some people that you could gain as clientele that are also into that. But I think more or less trying to find a target audience that just likes Pokemon. So it's in like that broad spectrum of potentially also liking other Pokemon stuff. It's kind of like when I have a conversation with someone and they hear what I do for a living. They're like, oh, I love Pokemon Go. You know what I mean? It's part of Pokemon. But you wouldn't catch them buying the Pokemon cards, right? Like, I don't know. I think it's just kind of in its own different separate realm, and you're just going to end up driving traffic but not getting authentic sales for your own specific thing. I think what more importantly you should be doing is you should be just hyper aggressively marketing yourself. I mean, if you really, really, really want to push it, you need to be extremely hyper aggressive about marketing. And you need to also find yourself like a community base of individuals that are fans of your specific product. I think that the biggest thing that you'll start to notice with your specific type of niche is that if you can have the personality for it, you'll probably crush doing what you could be doing on TikTok and other short platforms. I mean, just think about it. If you were to have your embroiderer and you were to be doing that and then talking in the background and then have some sort of storytelling ability while you're doing that, and you can talk about your experiences with creating crafts, you could potentially build yourself a entire clientele base just solely based on the fact that you like to show off what you're doing, and storytelling is going to get the engagement, because it's almost like your people are listening to that story happening, but they're also paying attention to what's going on in front of them on screen. So it's really good at drawing people's attention and keeping the retention high. So I mean, a lot of Pokemon craft people, that's kind of what made them popular with short videos, right? Like you've got those creators that do pop-ups of paper mache stuff where there's like certain scenes from Game Boy and stuff. I've considered wanting to buy one of those because I think they're super sick, and I've seen no ads for them. I just know of them because I've gotten them recommended to me through shorts, and I'm like, whoa, that's so sick. That's really cool. I'd love to get something like that. So I think that's going to be a lot better, more natural way for you to potentially bring in clientele. Likelihood of ES reprint, 20 to 30%. $60 at GameStop? Yeah, that's kind of anticipated. So if we say $60 at GameStop, if they're making you buy two, get the third one free, that's going to be $40 a piece. That seems likely. This seems like the most likely scenario. If I call this will be hilarious. Then $40 might be the best, and Alfred might be right then, because ultimately at the end of the day you're going to be paying shipping on GameStop than other sites. So $40 or $400 for a case is not a bad play if you can pick it up. I'm not going to fault you for picking it up at that price, because it is Crown Zenith. Like, it's not like, I don't know. It's not Shining Fates. I know Shining Fates is a set that you could pick up for high threes, but it's Shining Fates, which is kind of a not good set. I'm still buying CZ more Pecco boxes for $22 at GameStop right now, regardless of the Black Friday deal. Nice. Yeah, in our wholesale program, they're selling for $20 without tax. So I mean, they're still available to my knowledge, or at least last time I checked. I could be wrong. Alfred will probably criticize me now. Are Rebel Clash ETBs worth buying? They're expensive, but they're scarce too. Might be something completionists are looking for later. I mean, it's definitely one of those items that it's probably, if it does go down in value, it's not really going to be because of the product. It's going to be because of economic turmoil. So I think it's definitely going to be a safe pickup long term, safe and steady. Especially, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to give you the greatest return, but at the end of the day, you know, a product that is out of stock, or out of print, I should say, that it's deflationary, right? It's going to go up regardless. So you can kind of make that exact same argument with any of the sealed product past the Sword and Shield rotation era. Hey, do you think it's worth me picking up a Sun and Moon booster box? They're pretty scarce. Like, you can kind of make that argument with most older items. I had a call. I missed half of Mr. Pokemon. What the heck, Chase? What the heck? No worries. Thanks for stopping by. I'd say no on the Rebel. Eli, how the hell is BSPC ETB still available to buy in stock? Because I have honestly no explanation. I don't think they should be in stock. I honestly don't. I think they're pretty good. I mean, I'm not saying go dump all your money into it, but it is surprising to me that they're still in stock because Brilliant Stars is a good set. I'll have to go back and re-listen. That Sweetheart. I don't know what that's in reference to. Yay, I'm correct. Let's go, Alfred. Let's go. How's the physical store doing? It's fine. I mean, if I'm being honest, I don't like I call my business partner every so often to talk about how the store is doing, but I'm pretty disconnected from the store, if I'm being 100% honest. I mean, other than when I'll show up for specific tournaments or events, you know, my main thing is just growing the wholesale program and making sure that I can continue to add value there. Sup, matey? Are you a pirate? I don't know if they did a massive print, because obviously, unlike booster boxes and other ETBs that are not exclusive to the Pokemon Center website, it's kind of hard for us to know what real print sizes are, right? So I don't think that's necessarily a fair statement to say, because we really don't know, right? What are your top priorities to pick up on Black Friday? Well, I want to... Okay, so I don't exactly have a priority, because unlike you guys, I am really focusing right now on, or I mean, I shouldn't say unlike you guys, but unlike a good portion of people, I am going to be focusing predominantly on buying products that I think could be a good value to break down and sell off the bulk singles, because I'm obviously a big fan of that. And that's just predominantly because I'm sitting on so much sealed already. So I don't really need to pick up a ton of sealed. Not to mention, too, for myself as well, I have access to wholesale, right? I get access to discounted rates for wholesale. And so for myself, it's one of those things where if I'm going to be picking something up, it has to be something that's going to give me value outside of what wholesale is giving me right now with my distributors. And so for myself, it's finding items like Build and Battle Stadiums, Trainer Toolkits, potential Magic Commander decks, or set boosters, or draft boosters, or whatever is going to make me money if I break it down and I sell off the bulk. That is personally what I am paying attention to right now for my own sake. But that's just because of the situation that I'm in when it comes to the fact that Black Friday sales most of the time are going to really give you value on the potential specialty items, which although they're going to be a really good pickup long term, I already have so much Crown Zenith that I'm sitting on and I don't need any more. I have so much Crown Zenith. Are you going to stay in Zona or moving back to Oregon? Oh, yeah, I'm staying in Arizona. I love Arizona. Arizona's great. I'm a huge fan. Not to say that I don't like Oregon, but it's a small town. I grew up there, although it's my hometown and I love it. I'm on to living in a bigger place with more things to do. And so for that reason, I'm sticking around. And I love the area. I think it's awesome. Do you get pins in the BSPC ETBs? I know you get one in the LOPC ETB. You get a pin in the... Lost Origin PC ETB? My game could be lowered a little to what we can hear. I might take it away from my mouth. I'm sorry if it sounds like I think the more important thing is honestly trying to find something like record something that you find aesthetically pleasing when it comes to creating embroidering, and then once you have that as kind of your attention grabbing point, get good at either script writing or coming up with stories that you can just tell people about yourself and your business that is really going to grab people's attention. I think that's the most important thing. I think if you just, kind of ramble, or if you just don't have any sort of storytelling during the entire thing, you're not going to be able to get as many views. I mean, it can still be done if you're someone that's like very, camera shy and doesn't like talking. But within today's generation, right, there's always the concept of people being so overstimulated. They need multiple things going on at once for them to focus. Would Costco stackable tins be a good investment? I don't know if I would say they're a good investment long term, but I can definitely tell you that the packs inside of them, one of which is Evolving Skies, is definitely going to be a good investment. So I wouldn't say the tins, but the packs will. Eli, could you do a video on Ho to show? Whoa, who's that? On every I have only ever sell slabs right now. Yeah, I'll be doing a tutorial series at some point. I just have to get around to it. That's kind of the main thing, is we have a huge operation obviously for selling singles, and so we have a lot. Even outside of selling singles, selling sold products. So I could easily create a whole entire series on that. But yeah, I just need to take the time to do it and break it up because it's a lot. How do you get pre-release kits? I assume you're talking about Pokemon pre-release kits. So Pokemon pre-release kits are items that are offered to storefronts for pre-release events, which usually happen about 2 to 3 weeks before street date, where you're able to give players or sell to players build-in battles, where they will also get additional packs with that to build a deck with what they pull from the packs, as well as the build and battle kit that they got. So the whole idea of it is that it allows people to come in and try out some of the new cards in the game and be able to deck build with a concept of RNG. So that's how you get access to pre-release kits, is either be a storefront or go compete or go during an event for pre-release and ask them if you can just buy it and not have to play in the tournament. But that's usually where a lot of people will get it from. I did hear about that, Mime. I did hear about that. Off the top of your head, what would you say is a good price for ETBs at the moment if someone wants to pick them up as a long-term hold? $20, obviously. Fantastic price. Off the top of my head, I'm pretty certain that the prices for them are going for around $140, $120. Holy shitza. 160? Jesus loves me. And that's not even the high. You can get it for sub 150, that's a good deal. Like 140. 40 is pretty solid. Here's my opinion on what I consider to be a good deal. This is just a rule of thumb that I think it's important for a lot of people to use. You better be getting a better deal than the price to ship and sell on TCG Player. So if I have an item that is going for 160, right? then 0.87, because it's a 13% fee, right? Minus $10 to ship. $130, really good deal. Obviously, if you're someone that is a seller, you're going to want to make margin if you're not going to sell it on TCG Player. So finding it for closer to 135 and 140, I think is very realistic. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, right, if you're on a place that is Facebook Marketplace groups or Discord groups and you're not on TCG Player, the easy argument of trying to get them to sell you for that price point is if you go sell it on TCG Player after shipping and fees, this is how much you're going to be paying. If you give me a discount so that you'd be making more if you're selling it on TCG Player, then that's usually the best. It's hot as... See, okay. People keep saying that about Arizona, but here's my thing, right? It's hot for about 3 months out of the year, and then 1 month out of the year, it's on the hotter end of things, but it's bearable. And then for the remaining 8 months out of the year, it's perfect weather. Like right now, it's about, what is it, like in the 70s right now? I'll have to look up and see. I'm going to look up the weather. So, Gilbert weather is 83 degrees right now, right? And it's going to be 80s for the rest of the week. That's nice. That's nice. Oopsie. Sorry about that. That's my distributor. Gotta let him know. Sorry, I'm in the middle of streaming. Don't call me. Yeah, no. It's nice right now. It's really, really nice weather. You're going to have it be hot in June, hot in July, hot in August, and then in September it's going to cool down, and then October all the way until about May it's going to be perfect weather, right? And I'd much rather have that than be in Oregon where it's going to be really nice weather in April and May, potentially be nice in June, maybe be too hot, definitely too hot in July and August, and then cool down in September and October a little bit, but then leading into like November, December, and the rest of the remaining month, it's going to be too cold unless you're wanting to do cold activities. And then not to mention too, over the summer, specifically in Oregon, which is where I'm from, you're also going to have forest fires occur, which then could be hazardous for you to go outside because of the smoke. And so it's like, for myself, I look at that and I say, all right, 8 to 9 months out of the year, I can go outside and do activities and have perfect weather, and only have 3 months out of the year where I have terrible weather, or live somewhere where about 2 to 3 months out of the year, I've got perfect, consistently good weather, and then the rest of the time, it's either too cold, too hot, or too smoky to go outside. That's kind of what I look at. I will take the 3 months all day. Man, I haven't talked to Ava in Lord knows how long. I tried reaching out to her a while ago, but she's probably just focusing on her other aspirations, as she did want to get into being a financial broker, if I'm correct. Hope she's doing well. Sweet talk to your rep about the marketing kit. I can talk to him about it because I wouldn't be surprised if I'd be able to get it. I can check out your shorts and give you tips later. Silver Tempest or Chilling Reign to keep sealed long term? Long term. Ooh. I think right now you can get Silver Tempest at a much better price, so I would be picking that up over Chilling personally. I think that Chilling is a better set, but I think at the current price point compared to the expectation of how far apart in price they're going to be between one another, I don't think it's going to be that far off. And so I'd much rather take the cheaper of the two in boxes. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, it happened again. My face has shown that it's gone again. Man, oh man. Alrighty. I'm gonna let the battery cool for a second because apparently I can't seem to, I found a hot fix, which I was told maybe it reverted settings again. But if you guys remember last time on Tuesday's stream, it kept going and we didn't have any such issues. And that was mainly because here, I do have a backup battery actually. Why don't I use that? Chia dear. Yes, I understand there's a temperature issue. I think it has something to do with the... Oh, yep, it reverted settings. Okay, yeah, it reverted settings. Okay, so the one thing I've learned, I figured out what the problem is with this. Oh, yay. Is it... Do I have to turn it on and off again, or is it frozen again? Sick. I'm just going to give it a second, guys. So I figured out what the settings issue was. And hopefully I'll give it a second and it'll be able to fix itself. But the issue I learned is that if you put it in 4K, it has some sort of maintenance issue where it overheats. But I had it on Tuesday. I turned it off of 4K and we didn't have a single issue or interruption. So I just apparently the settings reverted back and it's not in 4K anymore. So I'll have to just give it a second, and then when the camera cools off a little bit, I'll revert it back. Tom, is this the Weather Channel? Basically the opposite of where I live, freezing for about 3 years, or 3 months, 3 months, and then amazing weather for the rest of the month. Dang, that's pretty nice. What are you going to do when groundwater is gone? I don't know, man. I'm not anticipating groundwater just up and disappear. We'll get there when the apocalypse happens. Hills Wholesale Gaming doesn't charge tax unless you live in Pennsylvania. I mean, that's how it is with a lot of online retailers. They don't charge tax unless you live in their state. I've been buying more vintage hollows. Good idea. I mean, it's not the worst idea ever. I mean, it's going to... vintage is going to hold strong. You just got to make sure you're buying the right conditions and you're not just paying more than what they're worth. I know, Alfred, if you want to make one for me, I don't know. I don't have one, so I definitely need to have that on the back burner. Just kind of just link the image. Tanner, like I said before, I like chilling as a set over than silver, but let me ask you this question, right? What's the price point of chilling right now? It's going for about $150. For Chilling Reign to get a 3x return, it needs to hit $450. 3x being a 200% return, obviously, right? For Silver Tempest, which most places right now you're going to be able to pick up for $110, for it to hit a 200% return, it needs to hit $330, right? So when you ask yourself the question, is it a matter of, oh, Eli, do I like chilling more than Silver Tempest? No, I like chilling way more. But at the end of the day, if I say to myself, I know for a fact I can pick up silver, whereas chillings, I mean, even if you put chilling at 140, right? Or even at 130 times 3, you're still giving yourself an additional $60, 20% extra wiggle room, where the price point of chilling for the price point you can get it at has to go $60 to $120 plus dollars higher just for you to get the same amount of value. That's just it. Changing the settings now so it's not on 4K, so hopefully it should work out. To be fair, we're gonna wrap it up. I'm not saying immediately here soon, but hey, there I am. My face is back. Yeah, but the problem is, Tanner, is you keep saying that, but you're talking about from the perspective of only buying on the Pokemon Center website pricing. But I'm not doing that. I am buying at either my wholesaler or I'm buying at websites that are going to offer a cheap price because I trust that the product is not tampered with, right? I'm going to places like Safari Zone. I'm going to places like Forge and Fire. I'm going to places like Beckett Castle. I'm going to places like Colossal Stadium or whatever. Like, there's so many places for you to get sealed, untampered product, 100% guaranteed from legit places, but you, for some reason, refuse to go to these people. That's your prerogative. You can totally do that, but ultimately at the end of the day, I can get Silver Tempest for much, much cheaper by going to these places. And I'm not going to give a comparison one-to-one of just what the Pokemon Center website's selling them for, because I will never, ever buy on the Pokemon Center website new booster boxes at that price point unless it's Evolving Skies and it's currently selling at $400. Of course, then I'll do that, but, you know. Safari Zone isn't what? There's a ghost talking. If you could get Chilling Ring, I already answered that question. Started collecting when I came out. Nothing was on the shelves. Bought 2 Rebel Clash ETBs in my first ETBs ever. Have them and felt stupid. Now feel genius. I wasn't talking PC. It's 144. I wasn't talking PC. It's 144. I'm still trying to understand what you were meaning by Safari. You said Safari isn't, multiple people told me. Safari isn't what? How many booster boxes do you suggest getting for each position you build? Do you normally hold at least 3 cases of booster boxes? Or if you really like a set, will you get like 8+ cases? It's honestly just going to come down to a case-by-case basis, literally and metaphorically. For myself, I am a huge believer of Lost Origin. Right. And so for that reason, I'm sitting on about 18 cases of Lost Origin, I want to say. Right. And although I am a fan of Silver Tempest, I'm only sitting on about 3 or 4 cases of them. Now, for myself, I could, in theory, have picked up more, but I was getting Silver Tempest for around the same price as Lost Origin, and Lost Origin I just think is going to perform better than Silver Tempest. So for myself, in a 1-to-1 ratio, I'd much rather pick up more Lost Origin than Silver Tempest, and obviously drastically more. But usually it also comes down to, like, for myself, liquidity and how that plays an important factor for myself. If I'm a huge fan of Paradox Rift, right? I'm not just going to go in and just buy 20 cases because I can pick them up sub $90. No. for myself, or I should say Scarlet and Violet base, honestly, is a much better example, right? I'm going to wait until I'd much rather pay an additional $5, $10 more, knowing that the supply itself has started to dwindle and the expectation of more supply coming in the market is very, very unlikely. Kind of like with Chilling Reign, right? Although it was a great pickup to pick up at $75 because of the previous high, and it was a no-brainer to pick up, it was still not a unwise decision to wait till it went up to $85, $90 before you picked up, knowing that the price was finally turning around. Safari Zone is shady. They have horrible customer service, according to everyone. According to what? Dude, Safari Zone has been around for like 20 plus years. Like, they are a absolute staple. And they're my competitors. And I am saying that, right? Safari Zone is an extremely legitimate website. I have purchased from them multiple times, had absolutely no issues. I've done bulk submissions as well from them multiple times, have absolutely no issues. You want to talk about guarantees, Tanner? It's like, I can never guarantee, obviously, that you go to a random site or buy from a random seller on eBay or TCG Player, you're not going to get scammed off. But Safari Zone is a staple, and I don't know who's telling you all this jargon, but you talk to anyone in my wholesale program, you talk to anyone in the Discord that knows about Safari Zone, as most people that are in both are very much aware of them and buy from them frequently. And if anyone also wants to also kind of piggyback on that in the chat, please feel free to add on. Zaki, that's funny. I bought a few RC ETBs here in Australia, but figured I might pick up some more as they've done well. Had no idea they were 160 in the US though. I don't know what RC is. Am I tripping? What is RC? Jordan is 100% right. I'm telling you, Tanner, you need to kind of be able to get over the concept of like people reselling product. It happens way less than people realize. There's so much fake news going around about resold product because people are stupid. People are so stupid. And I hate to say it because I might come off as a dick or I might come off as arrogant, but at the end of the day, people are so dumb when it comes to their financial decisions in general, and then also when it comes to buying product. Now, thankfully, we're in a community, both in our Discord and just a lot of the people that I have as followers that are extremely educated when it comes to understanding the ins and outs. And to be quite honest with you, that also doesn't take a lot to really know, right? You could easily just join our Discord and just kind of listen to the people that are talking about places they pick up from things, checking the deals link. You don't even have to go to our Discord. You go to other Discord groups where TCG Player deals, where they have an entire list of verified websites that are 100% legit that they have people funnel to on a regular basis, and you can see the entire list of all the verified sellers that they have there that they trust. And this is a over 20,000 plus account. I've got a buddy of mine, his name's Adrian, he also runs another one. It's called the Pokémon Deals Community, or PDC Community. You can go in there, you can find the legit sellers. Like, there's so many places where you can get the validity of legitness. The only reason why I say that there's a lot of stupid people is because of two things. One, there's a lot of people that are buying on shady sites or going to shady sites or buying from shady sellers with 0 sense of just common sense. Being like, oh, this seems like a really good price on eBay. Why is it being sold for $40 for a booster box? That's insane. What a good deal. Let me buy it. And then it's from China. It's a fake. Or it's from someone that's got a 0 rating. Like, that's so freaking common. that people will do that, and they'll be like, oh, I never saw this coming, right? Or they'll go buy on, God, what's the one thing? Etsy. Everything on Etsy's fake. Don't buy on Etsy, right? It's all Chinese knockoffs. Or you'll have people that'll go to these legit places like Safari Zone. I've had people buy from me that have messaged and complained saying, man, your product is resealed or it's fake. And I'm like, why do you say that? And they're like, because I opened a case and I only got one gold card and a couple rainbows. And I didn't even get a single alternate art. And I'm like, that has nothing to do with the fact that I resealed the product or it's fake. It has to do with the fact of the matter that you got unlucky and you're upset you got unlucky. And so you're now saying that I'm a fraud, which is not true. Like, that's just crazy to me. You know, like there's just a lot of very emotional, volatile people, and you can't feed into that. There's a lot of very reputable places. Alfred makes a really good point. There's no way a store can stay in business for 20 plus years and still have thousands of sales. If they're shady, word spreads fast if they are not legit. And that's the thing that's also really nice about the Pokemon community and a lot of Pokemon Discords and Reddit pages and everything. If someone is like a scammer, right? Legit scamming, you can bring it to the attention of the community and people will either, one, think that you're making a big fuss out of nothing and then you're going to get roasted for it, or two, take serious concern with the validity of your claim and then end up completely banning that account or completely putting it on a blacklist where no one was going to go to it because of it being a shady place. And so that's something that's very much, you know, I mean, that's just kind of Reddit in a nutshell, right? If you're right, then congrats. If you're wrong, you're going to get flamed. And that's just based off of their belief as a community, right? Sorry, I had to mute myself for a second. Oh, RC being Rebel Clash. Oh, might sneeze again. My bad, guys. That's my boy, Tom. I appreciate that, brother. Hey, it's pretty easy when you're getting wholesale pricing. Don't attack Xe like that. My candles aren't from China. Okay, well, that's single product. Okay, cool, Tanner. I'm telling you, man, you're going to make such better decisions when it comes to your opportunities of investment when you start to pick up product that are way cheaper than what you can find on Pokemon Center website. That's basically Reddit in a nutshell, man. I was watching someone create a video talking about how literally they this is insane, right? They were saying how they were visiting Chicago, I think is where it was, and they wanted to find a good wing place to eat. And all they did was they said best wings in Chicago, and then they ended it with Reddit. They went into the forum and some guy created a spreadsheet telling you the best wings in Chicago based on a ranking scale. And he had an in-depth spreadsheet that told you he weighed out the wings. He told you the general length of the bone. He told you the price per pound. He told you the general flavors. He gave you a complete breakdown and you're like, this guy has no life. But this is awesome, right? Like, it's crazy how much value you can find from Reddit. But then you can also find a lot of degenerates that also don't have a life and do stuff like that on Reddit. It can be super beneficial or it could be, you know, harmful. Yeah, Connor gets it. Knock on wood. All right, folks, I'm going to start wrapping things up here. We're going to get a couple more questions, and then I'm going to end it. I know that obviously we've only been going for about an hour and a half now, but for myself, I have so many other things and meetings I have to still attend to, so we're going to cut it short by half an hour. just because usually we'll go till about 2:30 or a little after that. So apologies, obviously, for the delays, but at least we got some good conversation in. And here's the deal too. The times I have been quote unquote scammed, I knew that it was more than likely a scam. And so for that reason, I took the risk by paying with a credit card or PayPal and said, if it's not a scam, then cool. I just got a fantastic deal. If it is a scam, okay, bummer, but I'm just going to get a refund. I don't know, Horizon. I've returned product from GameStop before, but that was because I bought some GameStop product and like the condition of the cards that were shipped to me were like super bent and there was like rips and tears in some of them. And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to return this. Appreciate it, Zard. How confident are you that near the end of SV we'll see some banger sets that are super exciting? I am 99.999% confident that by the end of Scarlet and Violet era, we're going to have a set that comes out that is going to be a banger of a set. And for those of you that are like, whoa, Eli, calm your tits there, bud. Why do you think that? Well, if we look at the history of every generation, Crown Zenith, Cosmic Eclipse, Hidden Fates, Evolutions, Legendary Treasures, Call of Legends, Power Keepers and Dragon Frontiers, Skyridge. Every single generation, going back to the inception of Pokemon, has always finished with banger sets. Every single one, right? And if you hate Gym Challenge and Neo Destiny and Legendary Collections, you can go frick yourself. But, I mean, seriously though, guys, every single generation. XY, which is regarded as one of the worst generations of all time, finished out with the Radiant Collection from Generations, and then followed up a couple sets later with Evolutions. Sun and Moon era obviously had both Hidden Fates and Cosmic, and those are obviously the best two in the set, but then what was that previous to that? Team Up, Unbroken Bonds, Unified Minds. Sword and Shield era had Evolving Skies and Crown Zenith and Celebrations, right? We're obviously not going to get a Celebrations type set, but it wouldn't surprise me if we're going to get another specialty set that's going to be incredible or a booster box set that's going to be incredible near the back end, because that just tends to happen. So for myself, it's pretty likely we're going to have an amazing set and near the back end, because historically speaking, I mean, just look at it. It's happened every time. So that's why I feel really, really confident. It would be a first in Pokemon's history that we haven't had an amazing set to end the year off. Eli knows there will be a set with even bigger and better crowns. Yeah, right. Oh my God, Gigantamax crowns. Oh, that's so funny. All right, guys, I'm going to call it here. Thank you guys all once again so much for stopping by. Make sure to leave a like. Helps the channel, and then enter into the giveaways and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. But